Alright everyone, having a bit of coffee. So yeah, it's been about, I don't know, I think the last time I made a video was like April last year or something like that. It's pretty mental that it's been that long. I've always intended to come back, but I've been busy. I've had a lot going on, financially, band stuff, but I've been buying records, not as many. This last year has been a bit of a weird one financially, so I've sort of been buying stuff here and there. I've just literally gone like, what have I got recently that I can just show, and I thought I'd just show them. So yeah, this is a bit weird doing this again. My cat's just turned up. I got a cat since last time, R.A.M.O.N.A, obviously we know where the name comes from. I thought I would just throw in some odd pieces here and there, stuff that I've got. No 7 inches today, because I was going through it all and I was like, what have I bought recently? Like, what has there been? And there's just too much really. It's all in amongst everything else. I organise everything, so I've got to go back through it, like where have I got? So yeah, I've got some LPs and some like 12 inches, whatever. I listen to Generation. What more can you want? So yeah, I'll have a sip of coffee and I'll get started. But I hope everyone's doing alright. It's been, like I said, it's been quite a long time. I've been in the background, like watching a few vids here and there, saying hello whenever I can. So hopefully everyone's doing okay. So yeah, I thought I would just jump in. So yeah, starting off, this is a reissue of obviously the classic. It's on like yellow vinyl. I don't know when this is from. I think this is like a few years, like it's from like 2017. Yeah, 2017. So I don't really own a lot of Damned. I just bought it randomly. Weirdly enough, I had a dream that Captain Sensible and Rat Scabies, I was on tour with them or something last night. A really weird dream, so I thought I'd start with the Damned because everyone loves this record cover. He actually lives kind of near me. He likes looking at trains, watching trains. And he lives not far from me, which is a bit random. It's far cry from Croydon. But yeah, cool, we'll start off with that. Got that fairly recently. Shove them down there. Right, we got Goat by Jesus Lizard. They like released a new album on Friday. I've not actually got it yet. Rack it's called. It's like the first album in like 20 odd years or something like that. But this is, I don't know, this is like the first one I heard by Jesus Lizard, I guess. This is on like a white vinyl. It's obviously a reissue. I don't know when it's from, but obviously Touch and Go Records. Yeah, classic, great band. Sort of a weird band, but I love Jesus Lizard. I fucking love it, especially this album. This gets a regular spin for me, absolutely. But yeah, there you are. Right. Going to Germany, I believe it's 1983. Is it 1983? Something like that, 1984, something like that. Ali Gegen Ale, which I believe is All Against All in German. This is Slime, a great band. Not my favourite, but one of my favourites of Slime. Their 80s stuff, and even their 90s stuff, I would say is untouchable. I know they've kind of got a new singer now. I don't really know if it's the same. I would still see them live, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I love Slime, especially like the 80s stuff, first 3 albums and that. And the 90s, I did like 2 in the 90s, which are actually really great as well, but they are. Going back to Slime, this is LP number 2 by Slime. This is Yankees Rouse. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's probably my favourite album from Slime. I love the cover. I think this is a 1982. Yeah, I feel like definitely not a band you want to overlook, especially if you like 80s punk. Like, you know, they've got that kind of sound, you know, but they obviously being German, they might have got a bit of been overlooked, but yeah, cool. I love this album, absolutely. I was pretty chuffed when I found this on eBay. They are. Alright. Is that finished now? That side's finished. I'm going to have to flip that in a sec. Alright, Fantastic Man by Blacklisters. Blacklisters are a band from the UK. They kind of play like really, well, they're like a noise rock band. This is from like 2020, I think. This is my favourite LP by them. Yeah, yellow vinyl, really cool. If you like Jesus Lizard and you like, you know, anything, they're basically like a noisier Jesus Lizard, pretty much. I think they're great. I think some of the members are also in a band called USA Nails, which I've shown before, which I also like. but they're a bit more like noise for the sake of noise. These are a bit more like, you know, 90s sounding, like Jesus Lizard. So yeah, love this. If you like that sort of thing and you're not aware of this band, I would definitely recommend this one. You know, I got this off their Bandcamp like really recently. Actually, they had like a bit of a sale on because they've released like these 2 EPs over the last couple of years, and they've like compiled it onto an LP. So I bought that, and then they had this like cheaper. So I've been after this for a while. I've just not picked it up, but yeah, I've got that. Really great album. There you are. So that's that one. I'm just gonna flip this one. Yeah, I love this album. This is the Cron Gen one. This is like a reissue. I think it's like Radiation Records or something like that. I don't know where it's from. Obviously, you know, the original is obviously from like 82, I think. But this is like a cool reissue. Right, what's up next? Yeah, so loved this record when I was a kid. Only recently got it. This is Long and Void by the Discogs. 90s Pogo, Japanese, street punk, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Not really something you see at all, ever, especially nowadays. I bought this off eBay, and like the guy was like, oh yeah, like I'm away for like 3 months. So is that alright? And I was like, well, I guess. If you want it, I guess. It is what it is. So I had to wait months for it to arrive. But I'm glad it arrived, because I remember like coming across this record when I was a kid. I was like fascinated by the front cover, like, oh, I wish it was the 90s. But I don't know. But yeah, really great. I'm glad to have that one. There you are. Right. System Failure by The Virus. Obviously, if you're aware, The Virus are from Philadelphia, from like the late 90s, early 2000s street punk band. This is their sort of like reunion lineup LP that came out in like 2017, I'm pretty sure. I actually really like it. I think it does hold up with the rest of their stuff. They had 2 albums out before this, which like came out in like 2000 and 2002 or something like that. I think they were Punkcore Records. Charged from Punkcore Records. So this is, you know, 15 years later. Yeah, really good effort, really liked it. Really sort of a bit more hardcore than the other ones. Yeah, I think this is like an alternative cover. They had like plenty of covers. Yeah, this is on the Voltage Records. Is it colour vinyl or not? It is colour vinyl. Wow. There you are. Pretty horrible looking colour vinyl, but there you are. Glad to have that one. Yeah, I actually like opened one of the old bands I used to play, and I used to play in a band called Asbestos and Bloody Gums, and we opened for them in Exeter in like 2018, 2017, around this kind of time, and they were great. They were really nice guys, and like, yeah, I don't know if this was out yet or it'd come out around that kind of time, but yeah, it was really cool to see them because I loved them when I was a kid, so it was really cool to see them like in my hometown and all this. So there you are. Next, this one I've had for a little while. I believe this is a bootleg, you know, but obviously no introduction needed. GI by the Germs. Absolutely love it. So my door's just fallen. There we go. I was resting my records on the door and it's closed the door and they're all fallen over. Can't have that. Yeah, so this is like a weird like bootleg, I think, of GI by the Germs. It's not really something you see over here, to be honest. So original pressing of this would be ridiculous. I don't know whether I'd ever be able to get one, so this will do. Do you know what I mean? This will do for now. Yeah, great album, one of my favourites. You know, Derby Crash, rest in peace. And born on he's the same birthday as me. Bit of useless information. All right, going on. Now we have a reissue of Nothing Lasts Forever by Defiance. I think this is their second LP. This is a reissue on Puke and Vomit. Yeah, black vinyl. There we are, Puke and Vomit. Really cool. I love Defiance. I think they definitely stood their own amongst all that kind of street punk scene. I think they had a lot of different influences than like a lot of those bands at the time. Obviously similar as well, but like, you know, very different. The cover's pretty cool. Like it's very sort of like Crass-esque, you know, which I think is obviously what they were going for. That kind of a narco kind of black and white imagery. It kind of is a bit of a statement, to say the least. Yeah, really great. Not as good as their first album. I think their first album is, yeah, it is up there with, in 90s punk, it's like top 5, do you know what I mean? There we are. One of my all-time favourite bands, all time, Where Have All the Boot Boys Gone by Sort on the Dogs, 12-inch single. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like this is like what it's all about to me. Do a Dog Style is like everyone's got that like Desert Island album where they're like, if I had one album to get me going the rest of my life, it's that album, and to me, that is that album. So it's cool to have this 12-inch single of them. I got to see Sort on the Dogs about 10 years ago at Rebellion, and it was with Rossi and Barrett before they had fallen out. So that was really cool. Yeah, I know obviously now they've had a lot of drama. Wayne Barrett's doing his own thing as like Sort on the Dogs in like France under like completely different lineup. But I mean, good luck to him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's what it is. And I know Rossi's doing his like Bite Back Slaughter thing. He's doing, and he's doing some other things. So you know, it is what it is. It's a shame. I'd love to see him again together, but to say the least, this is what it's all about. Do you know what I mean? All right, new release from last year. I got this at the time. Whether you're a Rancid fan or not, I don't really give a fuck. I love Rancid, and this is the best album they put out in at least 20 years. This is Tomorrow Never Comes. I forgot what it's called then. I think this is a colour vinyl. I think it's like, oh, it's pink. I was gonna say it's yellow, but it's pink. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is kind of like, I don't know. I think a lot of people slag off Rancid. You know, they're kind of like, they got popular. I mean, I don't give a fuck. These days, I don't give a shit. I used to love Rancid when I was a kid. I still do. And this is definitely, if you held off on this, this is definitely like the best one they've done since like Rancid 2000. You know, if you weren't into the last, what have they done? Troublemaker, Honour's All We Know, Little Dominoes Fall, Indestructible. If you didn't like them, which I know a lot of people don't, and I get why they don't, because they're kind of weird. You know, they've got their own sound. They don't fit with the other ones, the earlier ones, like the 90s ones that everyone loves. I would say this is like a, I don't know, like a matured version of like those old albums. I think this is the one, you know, to go back to if you want to listen to modern Rancid and you don't want to get bored. This is the one. So yeah, glad I got that one. Nice pink vinyl. All right. When I was getting into punk, maybe like around like 2006 or something like that, a friend of mine, I'd already known a lot of punk anyway. I was into like a lot of stuff, not really thinking much of it, and yeah, I was just like, I like, you know, Rancid and like NoFX and all that kind of stuff. You know, those gateway bands, and I guess this is a gateway band, but my friend showed me this album, and I'd never heard anything like it before. And you know, this might be cringy to some people, but yeah, this is On the Front Line by the Casualties, 2004. You know, this was my introduction to like faster punk, definitely. And then I soon heard like Troops of Tomorrow after that. But like this was the one. I was like, fuck, like people can do that, like. Because everyone was listening to, when I was in school, everyone was listening to like metal and stuff, and I like metal, I like some of it, but it never really resonated with me, and I was like, oh, this is cool, you know, this is like what it's all about. So this album in particular was the one that really set me off. And I know, you know, they're not everyone's cup of tea, but, you know, I mean, like, Reagan Youth, Ramones, Normal, Kraut, Exploited. You just got to look at their jackets and t-shirts and it just sets you off onto you. But I mean, I love all those bands, you know. So it's like, yeah, they really sort of like set it off for me. So I'm glad I got this. And this is like on like a really cool like clear vinyl. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with getting that one finally. I've had the CD for like 20 years, well not 20 years, but you know, 15, 16 years, so cool to have that on vinyl, so that's cool. It's funny actually, with the front cover, like the actual, I've always known it as that, obviously, but then now it's blown up on a 12, that picture's really blurry, which I think is quite funny, so it works really well on a CD, maybe not quite on an LP, but you know, like it's got its charm and I love it so much, so it's cool to have that. Right now, one of the best punk albums of the 90s. If you disagree, you can fuck off. This is 8x12 or 8x12 or whatever you want to call it, Stitches. This is like a new reissue, I think, from last year. Yeah, Wonder Records, which I think are from Germany, and they reissued like some like brief stuff as well, and like they put out like a Stitches comp where they've got like 7 inches on it, which I need to get, but yeah, like this is fucking punk. Like this is like what it's all about. Like, yeah. And if you don't know the Stitches, you really should. I don't know, that album cover is just so like basic but fucking great. Like, do you know what I mean? I love it. So yeah, really cool to have that. It's definitely something that I spin often. All right. Yeah, I pulled this out. I forgot that I bought this. This is the Kickstarts, which is like it's like an EP. So I think it's from like 2009. Yeah, 2009. It doesn't actually say that. So it's on green vinyl, and it's a random side project of members of the Casualties, Kill Your Idols, Warzone, SSSP, and the Applicators. Like a 4-song EP, and I remember it at the time. Like, 'cause Rick from the Casualties is the guitar player, and I remember it at the time and being like, oh, that's really cool. And there was like 3 different colours, and I never picked it up because it was always like importing. Excuse me. And I saw it on eBay for like £8. I was like, yeah, I'm having that. Do you know what I mean? Nice little one. I don't think I've even listened to it, to be honest. Probably not heard it in about 15 years. But yeah, what a cool like random purchase. So there you are. My cat's coming to investigate. Do you want to come and say hello? So this is sweet little Ramona. Having a look. She's only just started coming in here. If I've been playing music, she runs away, which is quite funny. But she's only just started coming in here, so it's quite interesting that she sat on my lap like this. But we'll see how long it lasts. Alright, moving on. This is Wednesday Night Heroes, which I think is like first album, I think it was. Band from Canada. I don't know whereabouts in Canada, and this is from like the late 90s, I'm pretty sure. I think this is a reissue because it says 2008, and it definitely is not from 2008. I'm pretty sure it's from about 1999. There we go, she's jumped down now. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the guy from this band, the singer from this band, now plays in a band called Homefront, which is, if you like later Blitz, like kind of like post-punk Blitz, you really like it, and they are great. But Wednesday Night Heroes is a really cool band. I've had like some of the other stuff before, and I'm really cool to find this, because being from the UK, you never see this kind of thing come up. This is on like a nice blue splatter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not an original pressing. Maybe it just came out on CD back in the day, and this is like the first vinyl press. I have no clue. But yeah, really cool to have that, so happy with that. And apparently this is the last one. No, it is not the last one. Alright. Okay, so Menace. Screwed Up in the Same Society by Menace. 12-inch single. Menace, I mean, you cannot hate Menace. They're like... Wait. She's trying to climb up on the top. Can't have that. I think she wants to get out, but all the records against the door. Anyway, yeah, I played a gig like last year, and weirdly enough, Charlie Casey from Menace was at the show, and we were playing, and I was looking, and I was like, that's Charlie from fucking Menace. And yeah, it was cool. Like, he was watching us, and like it was really cool and that. And yeah, he said some nice things afterwards about our set and that, which was really cool of him. What are you doing? Wait. Yeah, so that was really cool. But I love Menace. I don't really have a lot of stuff by Menace, so I'm glad I picked this up finally. I'm gonna get more of their stuff, but yeah, best 70s punk. You know, it's that. This is like what it like. We're Stalking the Dogs. This is like the real shit. You know what I mean? So this is the last one. So one of my favourite bands from the 80s, punk bands from Scotland. They reformed in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and then they put this out, which is 12 Punk Moves by the band called Threats. I think this is like 03. This is like a limited edition 500 copy picture disc. I don't really like picture discs as much, but this is, I would say this holds up with Politicians and Ministers and all those kind of songs, Writing on the Walls. Like, you know, yeah, absolutely brilliant. It definitely holds up. I actually listened to this like 2 days ago. It's been a while, and I was like, this is fucking wicked. Like, this is so good. It's kind of a shame when like a lot of old bands reform and they're just not the same. It just doesn't really pull the same. but this is not that way at all. This is a really good album, solid album, fucking great. So yeah, really pleased to have that. Yeah, from like the first song onwards, it's just wicked. So yeah, cool. All right then, well there we are. So yeah, I've just ripped through it then. Yeah, so I hope everyone's doing okay. I've been doing a lot of like band stuff. I'm playing a band called Casualties, and I don't have any like vinyl, but we put out an album last year called Slancher that's on like streaming. Our first album's now been taken off Spotify, but it'll be back. But yeah, we're doing a new one at the moment. We've kind of got, you know, a lot of fun stuff in the pipeline. So I've just been doing that, doing some house stuff because we've been in here. You can tell the cat's getting bored because she's like fucking with my stuff now. Oi, what are you doing? Yeah, anyway, right, I'm gonna go because she's gonna destroy my room. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing all right. Hopefully gonna be back sooner rather than later. I've got more stuff to show, I've got more stuff coming, so we'll see about that. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Thank you very much.